Hi, Joanna.
Hello, Mr. Marson.
Did you lose weight this week? Don't say it, because we're going to talk about numbers. Was it a difficult week?
No, it was get your shit together week
That's
and make
right.
it happen.
That is right, my friend. I know exactly how you feel. Hi, guys. Marcin and Joanna. And we are here to talk and whine sometimes and cry with you and just go through the journey of losing 100 pounds. So, collectively. So, whether she loses 60, I lose 40, I lose 60, she loses 40. We need to get to 100. We know it's going to take some time, probably 6, 8, 10, 12 months. Who cares? As long as we get to the goal. And today's topic is food and shopping because we've done 7 episodes so far on just sort of tactics and philosophy and intermittent fasting, and we've never talked about food. And like we constantly say, hey, be careful with the foods, your food choices, but we never spend time talking about actual like purchases. So
Yeah.
I'm proud to say that I almost got arrested at local Publix. I didn't, but you get the point. I went in there with the camera just so I could actually walk through the store, and Joanna can take you through the just things that she normally considers and looks at and whatever in terms of buying for the family, for for us and kids. So we have that coming. We have we're gonna talk about our food choices, our like dinners, breakfast, dinner, suppers, and then we'll talk about some calorie deviations. Sometimes we have days when we don't feel as hungry. Sometimes we have days where we feel really hungry, and and then we're gonna also mention just a couple things because for us it's almost non-existent about like non food items, meaning shakes, proteins, any sort of bars and meal substitutes. You guys know what I'm talking about. We don't tend to
Yeah.
go that route often. It's usually on a go, maybe a gas station when we're picking something up. Would you like to change anything? Add anything?
No, let's just jump into maybe our numbers
So
so we can
before we go
share.
into numbers, I know last week, for those of you that did not see, we actually have reported a gain, right? And a lot of times we will say, "Oh, weight gain," but it's like most of it is water retention. In order for you to gain 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds, you would have to per 1 pound of extra weight. That's 3,500 calories. In order to to gain 3 or 5 pounds, you guys would have to eat a lot of food to get to that point. So it's mostly water retention. Please keep that in mind. 'Cause a lot of people freak out like, "Oh my god, I lost all of this weight and now it's back." It's not. It's water. Hang in there. Hang tight. Usually 2 3 days, and it goes down. It may not go exactly to where you are, but it's fine. Just don't panic. So that's something I wanted to mention. We are gonna look at numbers next, and we're gonna look at yours and mine. And but before we do that, quick mention about it's time for a quick weather announcement, I guess. Um, so for we got a couple questions between yesterday and I think the day before um, about the hurricane. So you guys heard it's on the news. We're actually, I have another image here. So the hurricane, yes, was here. Typically, when it happens, this was a Category 4, so kind of a big deal.
Yeah, like
The
areas that were affected.
Yeah, for the areas that were affected, which you can see sort of here, the path of the hurricane. The blue dot is where we are. We're in Palm Coast, between Daytona and Jacksonville. So everybody's fine. It was windy and a lot of rain, a lot of water. Obviously, not as much as on the other side, but we're good. The numbers. So you, my friend, are currently at. I remember last week, actually no, the week before that, you celebrated tapping into 189 something, right?
Yeah,
You're 190.4, but last week you reported a gain of, I think it was like 5 pounds, 5.3
five
pounds.
pounds.
You Yeah, five
Five
pounds.
pounds.
Okay, so what's going on in your world?
So of course I went away to Connecticut for work and just indulged in some of the things that I should have not for too many days. and not drink enough of water. And that completely added on to five. If we look at the numbers, it was 5.6 pounds. Then I dropped to 90.2, 90.4, and I didn't do anything different. I just ate what I have to eat, stick to my hours. I didn't even do a longer fast, because sometimes once a week I do like a longer one for 36 hours. I didn't even do that. But I am noticing, you guys, that I'm not drinking the water that I need to, which is causing some other issues in my body. So, for instance, starting today, I'm going to drink eight. I'm sorry, I have to drink at least three of these little 30-ounce bottles to see. That's my experiment this week, to see if it gets me moving. Because I can definitely feel that I'm missing water.
Okay. We're going to pause here because that was a lot to unpack. I even had a problem following up. And so I'm going to ask questions.
Yeah.
So you were 189. You went away. Now, when you say you were indulging into foods, are you contradicting what I just said? Like, did you eat a lot of bad foods, or did you just change the foods that you're eating? Because those are two different things.
Yeah. No, I call indulging also not eating the right things. So if, let's say, for lunch, I normally have lunchtime is actually my breakfast time. So I usually have a salad with some protein, eggs. This time for lunch, I would have a sushi bowl, which means, rice with sushi on top and not as many veggies as I normally would. That automatically increased my sugar, which then has a triple down effect.
Yeah. And that was 5 days worth of your way from Monday to through Friday, right?
Correct.
So 5 days of just not monitoring things closely, and through went from 189 to 184.6.
Yep.
So 5 pounds, and then actually more than 5 pounds, right? 5.6 pounds.
5.6 pounds. Yes.
Yeah. So last week this is what we reported, and then just staying to your normal, just nothing crazy. Did you
Nothing.
extend your? Did you have to do anything special, or did you just go back to your ritual, normal ritual?
Just my regular ritual. So remember, when I was away, I did keep my hours. That's one thing that I kept.
Yeah,
So my 18.6.
you're 18.6.
Um,
Yep.
but so this week, again, I kept my 18.6, but just ate the right foods.
Um, did you say 18.6?
18.6, yes.
Yeah. So hold on a second. I froze. I was switching screens and I lost my train of thought. Again, can you say it again? Because I lost it and I need to respond to what you just said. So you
All
went back
right.
to the normal way of eating, or did you do a decrease in time?
My time stayed the same, and I went back to normal way of eating for me.
Oh yeah, okay. So you did nothing sort of special. You just went back to standard way of living, right? And
Correct.
the extra weight went down with like no extra effort. It's not like you introduced exercise or killed yourself or starved yourself.
Nothing.
Nothing. So,
Nothing.
and this is super, super important because I had the same experience with my numbers. I had like 3.6 gain last week, and for me, when we look at the numbers, let me just scroll down here. I was 258, I think. I can look at this one. Do I have? I don't see the exact number, but I think I was 250, 258.6 or 4, and 253.6. So for me, it was like a 3 for this week. It was like 4.6 pounds down. So I went 3 point something and came down 4 point something. So not only I lost the weight, I call it weight, but like the water retention. Not only the water went away, but also I lost my regular pound, pound and almost a half or whatever. So and the same exact thing. I didn't do anything special. So in terms of like doing things bad when you're away, I think I consumed like a whole bag of macadamia nuts. Those are, super addictive. We both love them. And I remember eating like three-quarters of this bag over time, obviously not in one day. And we went out with the girls to Moe's twice, which Moe's is considered like a pretty decent meal. Nothing, we had salad bowls or whatever with the add-ons. Nothing really that we shouldn't be eating. And even with that, like I've experienced 3.6 gain last week. But again, I actually, what I did this week, because I was like, I need to get those numbers back. I never introduce exercise because I know I cannot outwork the diet. So
Yeah.
I actually padded my time with half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the afternoon, and for like 5 days. And I think I had 2 days when I added an extra hour in the morning, an extra hour at night. So I think I had 2 days when my window was like 18,
Yeah.
18.6. And then for 2 days, it was like 20 hours of non eating and 4 hours of eating. And I got to tell you, I wasn't even like after eating sort of the bad stuff last week, I wasn't really craving it on those 2 days. So maybe one day I kind of pushed it. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to stick it out and go for the extra hour. But the other day, I wasn't even hungry, to be honest. So nothing really special. 2 days were extended, and that's about it. And the weight came back down to what it should be. So when I'm looking at this chart, this one shows it in more detail. You guys will see like it was dropping from 276, dropping. Last week, that spike is the weight from last week. And then this week, I didn't come down to like the time where the level where I was before, but actually went down even under, right? So
Yeah.
currently at 253.6, and that's my latest measurement. So no magic.
Good job.
Yeah, no magic, just standard routine. And that was really it. The one thing before we move forward from here, I also wanted to like, funny thing that happened over, usually when we start eating correctly, it's not the first, second, third, fourth week, but usually after a while, like 6, 7, 8 weeks, the Apple devices, our watches, start to report on some gains in your, how they monitor sort of in the background. They evaluate like your heart rate, your breathing, your sleeping. And I typically don't get those reports, but I get those flags now when you're into like fasting for about 6, 7, 8, 7 to 8 weeks, because we're now at the end of month 2. I got the reports on my resting heart rate, which is really cool because this is, you're improving your health overall. You're not just eating well. And you guys can see on this chart here, like my average before, like when I eat well, it's 54 BPMs. And then average here, it's showing as 62 at the top of the screen. But then you'll see when we started, this is where the gray line is, when we started eating like back normally, like the way we like to eat, it goes down under the line and it has this trajectory of going down and down and down, right? So that means it's improving because your BPMs are actually going down, which is super cool news. And the other thing also, I got another report the other day showing me my breaths, my repository rate, which is also cool because that means you're not huffing and puffing. You're actually more efficient in terms of the breaths that you take. So this went from same again. If you guys look at the timeline here, when we started in August, that line automatically shifted and it went from 18.3 breaths to like 15.7. Not something that I intentionally track, but it's so cool that like Apple, when you're wearing, for those of you that are wearing the Apple Watch or the Android devices, I'm sure you get the same reporting. But it's so cool to see that like your trend is lower for the last 8 weeks, which is exactly when we started. So like that improvement, when we talk about like health and feeling better and just things improving over time, that's the data, that's the evidence, and that's something that we wanted to share it with you because it's super important.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
very good point that you're bringing. Sorry, Marcin, because
yeah,
you are fixing yourself from the inside out, and that's what we're talking about. You're fixing things on a long term. It's not only the way of looking skinnier, it's actually fixing your heart rate. It's fixing the way you digest your food. It's fixing just everything, your whole body, the way you think mentally. This will help you guys with the whole aspect of your whole body because it works all together. And we got to remember that if you optimize for one thing, you can't only optimize for one thing. You got to optimize basically for your whole body altogether.
yes. Very happy about that. And before we hop into the main topic, quick reminder. I know some of you guys are listening on like Apple Podcasts. For those on Spotify, no big deal because you get the video episode. If you're on Apple Podcasts, or even when you're on YouTube, it's easier because you can see the video as well. But especially those for Apple Podcast listeners, the quickest way to get to the content is inside our Facebook group, which is at the facebook.com/groups/glucose guardians. It's better because sometimes we show those like visuals and graphs, and it would be easier for you guys to see it in a group. So join us if you think you can benefit from it, and and I think with that we can look at the other material.
We can take a look at our. Do you have something else, or are we going to go into shopping now?
No, we're gonna go into. Let me just pull up the right content here. Give me one
Yeah,
second.
this is really cool that you went into the store and kind of took us through the store to see what we buy. Also, later on this week that you're watching this, I will post some things that I get at Costco for our shopping. This way, those of you that love Costco, that like to go there to get your bulk items, you'll be able to follow a little bit of what we eat.
Yeah. So I hope that this will work. Give me one second. Let's see if we can see QuickTime Player. Okay. Can you see the video on your end?
We have
All right,
the
guys.
entrance of Costco. I mean, of I'm sorry, of Publix.
Yeah. So this is local Publix, and all I did was I basically walked in there. With I don't know where my stabilizer is, but I had my phone mounted in front of me and I was just walking around the store because I a lot of times like people ask, hey, what kind of food, and they ask for specific products. And I think very important thing is kind of to mention here is that it's not, we are trying to be directionally correct. This is like focusing on specific products, right? Because sometimes you may run out of products, sometimes it's not available, and it's really important to understand the sort of concept behind it, the logic behind it, rather than knowing like, oh, it's that one specific pasta or something, right? Which like we use substitutes for pasta. We'll talk about it in a second. Um, so it's the way we look at it is like we don't, what we're like she mentioned already, Joanna said, what is that you're optimizing for? What we're optimizing for is like what we have this saying where we say fast as clean as you can, but not as dirty, but as dirty as you need to stay on, right? So it's not about optimizing like I need to eat, everything I eat has to be perfect. It's just like when you can push it with your food, and when you cannot, back off a little bit, because the important thing is really to stay on this way of eating for an extended period of time. Um, the actually before we look at the store again, couple things that I wanted to. What do you want to do first? Do you want to do store first or the products that I have on my desks here?
I think let's do the store.
All right, let's do the store then. So back to the store. I am just gonna play the clip. Let me know when to stop, and I'll stop. And
Sounds good.
give me just one second. Give me just one second. Movie. Let's see if I can mute this because otherwise you were gonna hear a lot of noises. Let's try this. You can hear the sound, right?
Nope,
Like right now?
nothing from. Yeah, nothing.
Oh, on
All right,
your
you guys. So
on your hold on your end, you cannot hear the sound.
no, we cannot.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna stop here. Do you want to talk about muffins?
Basically, the whole bakery section I skip. I do not get anything in the bakery.
That sucks. But hey, guys, so but just look what I did here. I just saw bakery and I turned left immediately because there's really nothing we're doing in that section.
Yeah.
We go as far as the pumpkins. We actually got some pumpkins because it's fall season. So that's where as far as we go. And I'm gonna go into a deli
Deli
section.
section.
Yeah. So when I
Deli
enter
section. Yeah.
here, all right, what's going on here?
I do go for some of the deli meats just for like a quick wrap. That we'll talk about later what we use the wraps, what wraps we do use. But when I do, and for kids sandwiches for school sometimes, I go to the deli section, but I do get uncured meats. They are a little bit more expensive. It could be anywhere from $12 to $16 per pound. But I go for all the uncured meats in here. Cheeses, we love all cheeses. So we go for anything that we feel like that week.
You know, I wish I had something I could like flag to stop you sometimes, because the thing is, again, guys, focusing on directionally correct, meaning like I'm a guy. I have a simple brain. When you start getting into like what she's talking about, if you can understand it, fantastic. Follow that advice. If you're as simple as I am, it's like because I always get stuck. Do I buy deli meat then or not? And Joanna will probably be like, well, I don't know, it's debatable, but like, can we or not? Because I see it at home. So can we buy deli meat? We can buy deli meat, right?
We can buy deli meat, yes.
Sweet.
I wouldn't make it your meal every day, though.
Yeah, right, exactly. But like from time to time, when somebody eats that, like let's say we want to go, we're gonna talk about like we said bakery, like no bakery products, but like there are sections in the store where they have keto breads, right? Let's say somebody wanted to do like a sandwich for lunch with deli meat, cheese, and keto bread, which doesn't have the typical carbs. Can they do
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, cool. So anything else here? We see the deli meats. I don't think there's
No,
anything.
there's nothing else. I stay away from anything that's pre-made somewhere else unless I really, really have to. We have to grab it. We're on a go.
Okay, anything from products here?
Yes. So you see your hummuses. I do love hummus, so I go for the hummus. Hummus it doesn't really matter. I just try not to have too many things added, except like simple, maybe could be olives or peppers or garlic. But I don't go for anything more fancier than that.
So a lot of times this is what we use for snack. I know girls or myself. I'm not a hummus guy, but like I know you guys a lot of times during the day, especially like sometimes before dinner times. I know you prioritize veggies prior to eating meat. Let's not get into the subject, but I just said like that's what happens. And so hummus is like one of the snacking devices, right?
Correct.
We
I,
we
I snack because a lot of the times when we cook, we're hungry at that point. So to prevent myself from grabbing the wrong food, I have a big box of cut up veggies that I do and hummus, and that's what I snack on while I cook.
Okay, cool. I don't want to be the enabler and make you guys hungry. This is pasta section. We're skipping this section in general, right?
Yes,
But
yes, I
we
don't.
do want
I
to, but
can't.
we do want to talk about the substitute pasta that we eat because it's so good, looks the same. Is it the pasta that we know from like the Polish pasta homemade stuff? It is not.
No, yeah. I think some of you may be using it or heard of it. It's the chickpea pasta. I think the brand name is Gonzo, but I don't use the brand name. I use whatever I can get at whatever store. I like Aldi, and Aldi has their own chickpea pasta, and that's what we use if we feel like spicing up a meal.
Okay, cool. So that's done. Now I'm gonna walk into. I don't think I focus necessarily on like all fruits, but just in general. Do we want to talk about what do we want to say about fruits
So fruits,
without getting
try to stay.
scientific? Without getting
Yes.
scientific.
Okay. Go for all your berries. your berries are the best. All your tropical fruits have the most sugar.
Yeah,
So
and I think the way you explained it, like to me too, like oranges, it's not bad. Like we eat oranges, but like you know that the best way, as we always say, is eat an orange and check your glucose. Right? Some people will
yeah,
react differently to different fruits. I think one that we maybe try to stay away from are grapes because they're high on
correct.
sugar.
They're little
Um,
sugar bumps.
yeah. So, but oranges we eat. What about things like mangoes? We don't like girls eat a lot of that. We don't, right?
Yeah, we don't. Again, the mango is a tropical fruit, so your pineapple, your mangoes, your citrus fruits, um, I stay away from. Except lemons. I love lemons. I put lemons and lime into everything.
Okay.
Um, Apples. I love apples. The less sweeter of an apple, the better for you. But all apples are good. Not smashed, not mixed, just a plain apple.
And I,
Unless I cut mine up with plain grind almond butter.
yeah, I know. Oh yeah, almond butter. And is that the only thing you do with apples, like for snacking?
Yes, any nut butter basically, but make sure that your nut butter is not. I hate to name brands, but it's not Jiffy or Snip or Peter Pan or whatever it is. It's plain as you can get. Plain,
Yeah,
just grind any type of nut.
yeah. I'm actually. I think I'm later on. I stopped at the shelf where they have the peanut butter, so we can talk about it in a second. Apples, more apples.
Yep.
Um, Bananas.
Bananas, I try not to have more than one a week. Again, you guys, it is considered a tropical fruit. Bananas don't have much fiber, which we love fiber, but have a lot of sugar. So
Yeah. All right. More oranges. We've covered that. I don't think there's anything here. Oh, berries. You said berries.
berries, definitely berries. I believe blueberries have the least amount of sugar, with strawberries being at the highest rate of sugar. But just go for any berries.
Yeah. So
Again, here I love
strawberry,
my lemons. Yep.
strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, whatever other berries. Um, Lime.
Limes into your water. I put it into our food sometimes when we cook, into our dressing. The same with lemons. I drink my lemon water. I love lemon water.
Is there something specific about lemon water? Like, is it kind of the same as just lime and water?
So, best way I can explain it, your stomach has like these grooves that help it work, and bacteria likes to live there. Lemon water and lots of lemon actually help it be flourish and have the grooves bigger in your stomach. The bigger the grooves, the better your digestion.
All right, sweet. Now let's do a trivia question. Don't say anything. Are we going to be buying anything from here?
Yes.
Really? What are we going to buy?
Yes. Sweet potatoes.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. I don't think is it sweet potato here? Oh yeah, yeah,
Yes.
it's right there. So how much sweet potato?
Not much. So I like to make butternut squash and sweet potato, like this baked dish that actually I learned from one of our members. Shout out to Magda. Thank you for teaching me that one. I really like it. So I take like about two sweet potatoes and half of a butter squash. So more butter squash than a sweet potato. Cut it up, put some spices on it, throw it in the oven, and that pan lasts us for about 3 meals or so.
Yeah, cool. Um,
Onions, I love onions. We love onions as a family.
yeah,
So
we
we go for the sweet onions, for the red onions. Oh, there's my butternut squash. I'm not butternut. Yeah, that is the butternut squash. Yeah.
listen. You're a commentator here. Don't get excited. I understand it's food, but
I love food.
slowly. So okay, so this is the squash you were talking about just a second ago. So you do
Yep.
half of the sweet potato. No, one sweet potato. What was the recipe?
Two sweet potatoes
Yeah.
and half of the butternut squash.
Okay, and then you just cut it up and dice
Cut
it
it
up
up
and
into dices. Dice it up, and then throw it in the oven for 350 to about 20 to 25 minutes, depending how soft you like it.
okay. Lime juices and lemon juices. We use this. Girls use this with water for school before they go.
Correct.
We fill, Stanley cups. Yes, no, we're not sponsored by Stanley Cup, but yeah, the Stanley Cups, you guys know the deal. And we put the water, ice, and some lime juice for them. We do it throughout the day. We don't do enough of it. This section here,
Nuts, of course, any nut is good. I would stay away from your dried fruit in your nuts and candy. That completely defeats the purpose of why you're eating it. Nuts have very good oils for you, healthy oils, and introducing lots of sugar into it, which dried fruit is excessive. It's basically has no fiber, just sugar. So it's like eating a teaspoon of sugar while you eat your dried fruits. Defeats the purpose of the good oils that you're putting into your body.
yeah. And one thing important, my I remember I had a conversation with my dad and recommended nuts at one point, saying it was super healthy and like super good food. And next thing he grabs one of those boxes, I don't know, 2,400 calories probably in the box, and he eats it with milk. So you don't want to do that. That's too many calories in one sitting. And nuts are one of those things where you can just continuously, like when you,
Yeah,
yeah, when you pop like a Netflix episode, you can go through that box in like no time. And remember, it's always better to just load up a plate full of food and eat that. This is nuts. Nuts are always good, like an emergency food. So if you're traveling, sometimes we go to the park and you like put some nuts in like Ziploc bag because it's an easy thing where you can just pop. It's enough of calories to like keep you afloat, and you're not grabbing something, like the fried chicken tenders or whatever. So those are really nice. Obviously, you're staying away from the sugar ones. You're just going with the plain ones. There's some macadamia stuff. There's cashews, almonds. There's a mix. Even the ones mixed with cranberries, I know they're advertised as being like super healthy for you. Just easy on cranberries, please,
yeah,
because it's sugar and it's easy, like an easy sell. You're like, oh, it's good for me because it's cranberries. Most of the time, it's not. Like um, as few cranberries as you can.
yeah.
But at the same time, yesterday I got one of those boxes. I ate probably half of it with cranberries, and I don't feel guilty about it. Again, anything that will keep you happy enough to stay on this way of eating without going crazy. All right, enough
Correct.
mumbling. Let's continue here. I did some close-ups. I did a pretty decent job here. I
Yeah.
was just I was questioning myself. I'm like, I wonder when are they gonna approach me and ask me what the hell I was doing in there? Which I was, but more on that later. I was basically approached, and they asked me politely. Everybody was nice, and I told them what it was for, and they actually supported me because I said I'm advertising their food for free. All right, so now we're looking here. What's going on? Celery, maybe broccoli,
Right.
cauliflower.
Celery. Yep. Celery, broccoli, cauliflower, and you have your mushrooms. We love mushrooms as well. Green beans, squashes, corn to minimum, asparagus, and then we have our boxed loose leaf salads there. I love them because I just grab a bunch. Yes, I don't clean them. Okay, I just grab it from the box and put it on my plate and add a couple more veggies to it.
Yeah,
Uh, Peppers, awesome. Same thing. I cut them up to a big box. I'll share a picture of my colorful box of veggies
yeah.
with you guys.
I want you
Also,
guys to I want you guys to understand something. We are lazy in terms of food preparation. Like, still have to, Joanna handles this, but like, there's not a lot of like processing that goes into meal preparation. Like when we eat peppers, or think about like asparagus salad, like zucchini or whatever, it's just in its raw format, right? Like spices and the pan, right?
yeah, I try to keep things to a minimum. We're busy. We both have full time jobs. Plenty of other activities with the kids, homework, a humongous dog that needs to be walked once in a while at least. Just a lot of things. So food prepping has to be to a minimum.
Yeah. Anything else here? Cucumbers, that's all safe. Salads, and
Um,
now,
eh, all your green salads, any vegetable that lives up from the ground and up and green is good for you. Eat as much as you can of it. Um, your cabbages are so good for you guys to try to include a cabbage. If you can get good fermented cabbage, go for the good fermented cabbage as well. Um, yeah, so all the green stuff, eat as much as you want.
One thing about cabbage, and this is what's different with you and me. I love cabbage. The fermented one goes smoothly, no problem. But whenever I overload on cabbage, usually when like they're the salad mix with
Yeah,
cabbage,
with the cabbage.
for
Hmm.
some reason my water always goes up. Like I get my weight sort of jumps, and it's not a problem because I know it's gonna come down, but it's mentally kind of messing with me, and I'm staying away from cabbage. Just my personal experience. Anything here that we see that like that's a troublemaker, not really. Even like stuff like bok choy.
No, those are really good for you. Again, and the only one that would have, again, is good for you, but may spike your sugar is the radishes and the beets that were
Yeah.
there on top.
Um,
Um, Iceberg lettuce. If you don't have to eat it, don't. I mean, nothing wrong with it except it doesn't have as much fiber and all the good other goody stuff as the other lettuces. Iceberg lettuce is on the lower side of all the lettuces.
So let's not pick every product apart because we still have like 15 minutes to go.
Okay.
Um, you know what I'm saying? Like if we see
Yeah.
something that we need to raise a flag on, like, hey, stay away from this, then let's point it out. But other than that, it's like, no, that's everything here is good. I
Yeah.
think it'll be easier for us.
Yeah.
Dressings. I'm just gonna say this because Joanna can probably go deep on this because I'm sure she memorizes every single label. Dressings, we don't care really. Like we just grab dressing. We try to say like make sure that it's kind of semi okay, but we use sauces, dressings, because it's the only really way of like adding flavor on top of like salads and stuff. So not super picky. Is there like one thing that like they should be alarmed about?
Yeah, I as much as you say that we grab, I do the shopping. When I shop for these things, I'll pick the ones that have the least amount of sugar added. He doesn't know because he doesn't do the shopping. So he grabs what's in the fridge.
Guys, I'm gonna switch screen like to me sometimes just to prevent her from talking. I'm joking, but yeah, no, a lot of times I agree. I sometimes I don't know. So we're good on dressings. Let's
Yes.
continue. Let's continue here. This is one of my favorite sections because it's the mixed salads, right? Are those safe for us?
At this point, yes, but I will be removing them from our house.
But for right now, when I'm
For now,
311, can I have
yes.
a mixed salad instead of 6 donuts? Would you think
Oh,
that would be okay?
of course, please. Um, eh, Sorry, you guys. I just this is just the way I am. Yes, mixed salads. Go ahead, have them. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
like
it.
we have to set a bar and understand where we are. So like if you're more athletic and you're trying to tune in, that's probably not a channel for you, and that's kind of sometimes where Joanna ends up. She's like super kind of picky. I'm focusing more on like, hey, I was 311. How do I get to 260 or
Yeah,
220 or whatever? So in my for people in my category, when you're like 20 pounds and over, eat everything here. It's
yeah,
safe because it's better than the garbage that normally
yeah,
we consume.
yeah. We don't when we buy a salad and it has like any uh, those little breadcrumbs or anything in it like that. We just don't put that in.
I don't tell Joanna that I do, but I do. So so anything here? No, it's just veggies. Those
Yeah, just veggies, pre-made salads.
the pre-made stuff. That's pretty. I mean, safe, right? I'm sure.
Correct.
Yeah. So if you're on a go, quick meal or something, you can grab like two and just put it in the fridge in case.
Yep.
Um, Nothing special here about fruits. You guys know about fruits already. Um, And here, I think I'm going around. So I'm heading towards a seafood section. Just quickly, this was super early in the morning, so like the sushi chefs and whatever, those guys were not ready. So you're not going to see a lot of like pre-made stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
avocados.
avocados, tomatoes. Yep, we love that.
Okay, so that's
Brussels
important.
sprouts.
Yep. We're gonna go by the booze section. Where I've already commented on this. As little as possible. Drink tequila if you want to
Yeah.
get drunk, or red wine. I'm gonna actually stop here for a second, guys, and just segue out for a second. a lot of times when we feed our dopamine, the whole happiness business, we combine the sources. Very often, you're going to find yourself watching a movie, having a wine, watching a movie, snacking on something while you're doing. Our brain absolutely loves this because it's like the more it can get of the good stuff, the better. So when you're like, you can almost watch yourself because I noticed this with our girls. The second they turn the TV on, the next thing they march to the pantry to grab
Yeah.
food. Not they are not even hungry. It's just that's habitual. All right, back to seafood. Everything, not everything, but like what do we grab from here? Shrimp primarily, right?
Yeah, we brought buy shrimp from here primarily, cooked or not cooked. That's our
And
main.
for shrimp, to tell you guys, it's either something like quick on something with just spices for like taco shrimp. We absolutely love taco shrimp. And cooked shrimp also with sauces is fine.
Yep.
For sushi, not really because we're staying away from rice.
Not really, no. Yeah, you can buy smoked salmon. We love smoked salmon too.
Okay. The
Um,
pre-made
uh,
stuff. Be careful, I guess.
but
What's
I
here, right?
yeah, depending what you take. Some pre-made stuff like the kebabs with the chicken is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
So
Um,
so are the
some
burgers.
so are the burgers. Yep.
Oh, I see one of my favorites here. The jalapeno with bacon. Oh boy, guys, check out Aldi on Out of This World. I don't know, I'm addicted. Really good. Um, and then for most part, it's safe. Stay away from the potatoes and the potato salads and all
Yeah.
this stuff. Meats. Can we just like generalize meats, kinda?
Yeah, go. So your lean proteins would be your pork that we see here. Then we go into your chickens, your turkeys. Any way you like it, you can make it. It's perfectly fine.
Sausage, yeah,
Whether
sausages, hot sausages. There's ground
yeah,
meat again for us. Taco, we eat a lot of that. Like I know for breakfast you do this ground meat with like eggs on top or something.
correct, with eggs and heavy cream and cheese on top. Yeah,
So meat's
almost like
perfectly
a little
fine.
like a quiche.
Meat's perfectly fine. Just be careful with those like um, marinated. Sometimes you have like marinated options that are ready for like, hey, toss it on a grill, but it's already marinated and there's a lot of sugar. We're
Yeah.
staying away from those. But anything that
Hmm.
you see here in its pure format, like raw format meat, just whatever, whether it's a steak or ground or pieces, totally fine.
Yes, yes. Go for it. Marinate it yourself. Easy. Marinate is just olive oil, a little bit of lemon, and some spices.
Okay. Here,
Same
chickens.
thing, whole chickens. Yep. Any type of chicken, breast, thigh, leg, whatever you decide to go with. Just do it, buy it, do it, cook it however you like to.
Okay.
Again, here I don't buy much really, nothing sweet. I think there's some deli meat, so I might pick a deli meat from here if I don't want to stand in line.
You know what?
Um,
I just thought about something because I saw circles. The one thing that we use a lot are the wraps. And I don't think I caught them here anywhere. What are the replacement wraps for like tacos and those are like the egg wraps or
yes, they are egg wraps. Wraps. I don't remember. I think they're called keto wraps. They come in. You could get. They have them in Target. They have them in Aldi. I'm not sure if they have it in Publix. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. But basically, it's just egg whites with spices.
how do you feel about Lunchables? That's for more for
Uh,
kids, but like
I don't like them. Once in a great while, our youngest one still really loves it, so I'll buy one for her.
yeah,
But that's not a go for me.
yeah. All right, here hot dogs. We don't really do a lot of hot dogs.
We're not a hot dog family, really. It'll be like once in a great while, everybody's like, "Oh, hot dogs!" So then we get hot dogs. But we do like bacon, so we get our bacon.
Yep.
The little one likes turkey bacon instead of regular bacon. We like our sausages, so we get sausages.
Okay.
Again,
Anything?
sausages are just plain, no brown sugar sausages.
Cheeses.
Again, cheeses, any cheese,
This
whether
is
you get it in a block or sliced, whatever you like.
this section of the store is like a what do I want to say? This is like a for our Bruno. This would be equivalent to like a like a drugstore. Bruno loves
Candy,
cheese,
candy
man.
for kids. Yeah.
Yeah, like candy for kids. Whenever if you ever visit our house, just put a couple slices in your pocket before you walk in. You'll be welcomed.
One thing I do want to mention, so for any dairy that I take, anything, always full fat, or as much as fat as possible in it. I do not go for any light things.
This is again this conversation, guys, with like, oh, bacon is fat and in cholesterol. Like, just forget that, please. Like, don't mix it. When she says full fat, I know a lot of people go and do like a low fat or whatever. But remember, this stuff is processed. In order to make it this 2%, it needs to be processed, and all crap that's in there, not necessarily good for you. But you don't have to worry about whole fat as long as you are eating the proper stuff. But if you're slamming sugar down your throat and then adding whole fat, it's again like this bacon business. So whole milk.
Whole
And
milk
here
and no flavors.
we don't really use these products. Um, do you like anything here? Heavy cream is good, right? For
Yes,
coffee?
the only thing that I get is heavy cream because it's naturally sweet by itself, but it's like full fat, so your body adapts it very well. So I always go for the heavy cream. I use it in cooking, and I use it actually in my coffee sometimes too if I want a treat.
Yeah, we use
No oat milks. I just want to tell you guys. So I don't like oat milk. It makes me not feel good, actually. So that's why I don't drink it at all. But I had this scientist just say a very good comment about oat milk. It's like drinking pasta water. Okay, that's all I'm leaving it at.
Yeah. And guys, again, reminder, because some people are going, we're going to rattle a lot of cages because obviously there are products here that we're mentioning where like, well, you're totally wrong or whatever, whether it was hot dogs or Lunchables or your oatmeal. Maybe that's the only thing that like you have to have your oatmeal. You know what? Have your oatmeal just to cut out the other crap. So again, as you have to stay on, you have to. You don't have to do anything. But when you're doing this, following this regime, then just consider your choices. I didn't know they have organic banana milk. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Um, okay, so milk, pretty simple. We use the
that one right there. Because we're all a little lactose intolerant, and milk and ice cream is what sets us off as a family.
all right.
Eggs, again, all eggs are good. Um, if you want to go for the best, you want to go pasture raised. But there's no bad egg. Okay, so all of them are good. Um,
It's more of a
Again, just
like a flavor thing. There's some
yeah,
classifications of eggs. Pasture raised seems to be like number 4 or 5. All this stuff with like cage free and whatever you guys can probably imagine. It's not really a cage free. It's not like the way we think of it, chicken running around. Pasture raised is the one where the chicken actually is free to kind of walk around, and it's the egg is different. I remember recommending it to my mom. She's like, "Oh yeah, it's more like creamy and it has more yellowish yolk and stuff." But remember, sometimes we're very quickly deceived. Companies today are actually adding not flavors but like color. They already have figured out that that this is kind of how we judge the quality of an egg by the yolk. That's more sort of like an orange almost yolk. So
yeah.
they are
We feed the
manipulating.
chickens. Yeah,
Yeah, they feed the chickens right to get to the desired result. But the pasture raised is I think taste wise is the best one. All right.
correct, correct.
Anything here on yogurt?
Yogurts, yogurts. We go for the too good if we go for a yogurt, or we go for a full Greek yogurt with no sugar, no flavor,
Kids
no nothing.
kids use this stuff, right?
Kids, yes. Kids lately they're into those flipped yogurts. Greek yogurt with a flip yogurt
Yeah.
with the little flip treats on top. Which I rather have them eat that than go back to the fake to the stuff that I was feeding them before, not knowing what it does to them. So
Um, one thing to say, because I sometimes I interject kids. I think what I wanted to say is that our content is really geared towards sort of like us, me and Joanna and adults. We don't kind of preach and tell you what to do with your kids. Our kids are kind of all over the place. They don't eat bad stuff, but at the same time, we don't. We don't. They are not forced or asked or told to eat exactly the way we are eating.
yeah,
They don't have to. They move a lot. Their burn rate is different, so metabolic rate is different. So please remember, whenever we're talking about this, this is just between me and Joanna. Kids, we just mentioned just because we have kids. So yeah, I was standing in front of this shelf here, like a doy, looking for my for the yogurt that Joanna mentioned earlier. I actually see it here now. I can probably point it
yeah.
with the pointer. This is what we use. The Too Good company. I don't know. It's just something we like, and the numbers are right. But there is a bunch of other ones here at the top. Like you can check out the shelf and just pay attention here. I don't know those companies, but it's sort of a similar thing.
Correct. So I just want to say, if you look at the coconut oil, coconut yogurt, yogurt is actually very good too for you. It'll be non-dairy, and it'll have a good source of fat. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure about the sugar, you guys. That's the only thing that I don't know.
Yeah. So just make sure you look at the label.
Yep.
But it's so nice because it's like there's actually a lot of products currently on shelves in stores like Stop and Shop or Publix or Dixie or Aldi, Winn Dixie or Aldi, where there are some substitutes already. So before you used to have to kind of get it online, but now in terms of like tortilla wraps, breads, even I saw not I want to say muffin, not muffin. What's the stuff that you buy always at Stu Leonard's?
Cream cheese? No.
No, the baked stuff for kids, the colored one.
Bagels. Colored
Bagels. There you go.
bagels.
Sorry, brain freeze. So bagels. I even saw like bagels that were keto and like super low on carbs. So you will actually see Joanna is more into like she's looking constantly for substitutes. It's more mental than anything else. It's the visual that she sees in front of herself. It's fine. I used to fight it. Now I don't.
Yeah, I just want to. So we walk through cottage cheese. We do get cottage cheese. We get again full fat. Philadelphia cheese. We get whatever cream cheese. It doesn't have to be Philadelphia, but we do get cream cheese, and it's perfectly fine to eat.
Okay, yeah, cream cheese. The cottage cheese is something you're more into. Sometimes you eat it as
Yeah,
a snack. I kind of stay away. Not that I have a reason. It's more of a preference.
yeah. I
But
like cottage cheese with my veggies. Butter. I only go for the grass-fed butter,
the
full salted grass-fed butter.
Kerrygold is what we use. That's why the I kind of focus on that first here.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't go for those spreads, you guys. I just want to mention something. So don't go for the spread. Go for the regular butter. The spreads usually you use things that will inflame your body, and you will not like it.
and peanut butter you mentioned earlier.
Yes. So again, don't go. I don't go for the lower shelf peanut butter as you see there. I go for this or that one. I go for as plain raw butter or peanut butter as I can get it. Sometimes I like it. They have actually just grind nuts next to the fruits or vegetable section, and that's where I get it. Nutella,
So
absolutely love the thing. Eat it.
I knew she was gonna say something. Nutella is surprisingly very good for you guys. Eat as much of it as you can.
Please don't do that to yourself.
But sometimes when you have a weak moment, don't do it. Just don't do it. When you reach your goal, then you get an okay from Marcin to eat as much Nutella as you want. Only when you reach your goal. I'm
For
totally
one day.
yeah. But stay away from this stuff because it's gonna create spikes beyond belief. Even though like you're gonna do, I'm just gonna do once a week. It's gonna take you 3 days to detox from Nutella. So
Right.
enough of that. Those snacks here. like
Uh,
caramel ones or
we do some of the rice snacks, but we like the caramel ones. But yeah, not ideal, right?
not ideal because they again they do this thing with your mind where they just cravings. You're gonna get cravings after. Plus, you're gonna not feel well if you have too many. It's hard to have just like four or five, right? Like
Yeah.
you usually when you open the bag, you usually go through it. All right. Here I think I'm gonna have to go down like two aisles. I think maybe waters is where I'm going to go next. Nothing really much to say there either.
So
Obviously,
uh-huh. I just want to mention that don't be fooled by the juice idea. Juice is just basically flavored sugar water. It does absolutely nothing to you except give you lots of sugar right very fast into your body, just
eh,
like soda. Same thing.
one thing. She'll disagree with me, but that's fine. Not the first time. Diet sodas, guys. Again, fast, as clean as you can, but not as dirty as you need to stay on. So, or as dirty as you need to stay on. So, a lot of people out there, try. We don't do it. If we do it, I try to go with the no calorie. I'm a Red Bull fan.
Yes.
I shouldn't be, but I'm still gonna do it. I don't care what people are gonna tell me, and I'm just trying to stay with the sugar free one. Do the same with your diet soda. If that keeps you afloat and helps you with just eating normally, and you have the soda, do it. Try to cut it out over time. But it's not like, oh no, stay and quit everything. You're not going to sustain your that
Yeah,
way of
yeah.
eating long
And
for.
Marston is completely right. So when you have a choice of a regular soda and a diet soda, please go with the diet soda. That's really not a problem.
Water is water. Sparkling
Water is
water,
water.
guys. Before this is actually I wanted to say something here because I have this habit of grabbing water before I go to bed. Sparkling water before you go to bed, not ideal. I still do it. Not ideal just because like when I finish eating at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, not a problem because it digestion not really that important at night. But when let's say you finish eating at 7 and then you have sparkling water before bedtime, not really good for your acid and acid reflex. This is something I was just pointing here too because this is probably the best, the Mountain Valley water, especially for days when you're fasting, because it has a lot of minerals. It's not just some fake regular water.
Yeah.
We buy different sort of sparkling water. We buy the one at the top
Perry.
there,
Yeah. We buy the Perry one, I believe, or the Costco brand.
or the Costco, or we buy this water when
Or
there's
just
nothing
plain, yeah.
else.
Yeah.
And there's one more here. What is it, Polar or whatever it's called?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
any club soda, right? We go for sometimes flavored, but not sweetened.
Yeah. So I think that was it here for this aisle,
Yep.
and then frozen. We don't buy a lot of frozen stuff.
No, we don't. Sometimes we'll get like frozen veggies, but not really the aisle that I go through at all. Except if kids want ice cream, and that's it.
This is aisle I actually needed to walk through because there's no way you're not gonna eat ice cream. But if you do, um, try to. There's again a lot of substitutes.
Mhm.
Hollow top is one of the most popular right now because of the calorie content. But there's plenty of options there, so don't just
Yeah.
grab.
So if you go before Ben and Jerry's, there's gelato, I believe. And if you compare Ben and Jerry's and gelato, it's half of the calories, okay, and half of the sugar. So again, it's that choice between between eating a drinking a soda and a diet soda, right?
So I don't know. I'm trying it again here. What
Okay,
were
okay,
you?
okay. Stop right there. So,
Where is
oh
it?
no, a little bit more. I'm sorry. They're next after those pink containers. No, a little bit more. Wait,
I'm
wait, let it
not. So
go.
I'm not gonna because we're already into an hour worth of
Yeah,
recording.
okay. So
So
right
you
there
have
is
to.
right next to. They always seem to be next to Ben and Jerry's every store I go to.
That's enough of information. Yeah, we have to. We have to
Move on. Yep,
start. You know, start to wrapping
yep.
the episode here. I think I have like two more, three more aisles where I needed to go into mac and cheeses. That's all girls.
Yep.
Nuts. You guys already know the
Nuts,
story.
nuts.
Chips.
Yep.
I started backing out of here. No, actually, I went in here because of the pork skins.
Pork
That's one
skins.
of.
Yes. If we want something crunchy, we go for the pork skins.
We also have salsa again. Easy with the sugar. Watch what you're grabbing. Sometimes you can actually get nice salsa. What's the Stu Leonard? Not Stu Leonard's. What's the store we go to in Jacksonville that has a lot
Uh,
of organic stuff?
Trader Joe. Trader
Trader
Joe
Joe is really
has
good. They have a lot of Trader Joe just in general, guys. Like when you go there, you're not really. It's hard to buy bad stuff there. Um, I'm sure some people will maybe disagree, but
even their cakes or cookies. Everything is in a small portion, so it's not like you come home with 50 cookies. So
we don't eat cereal. But on the opposite side of cereal, there's this magnificent thing called Smooth Move.
correct. If sometimes, especially us women, we sometimes get stuck. I do that every time I travel. Every time I travel, so I have to drink a tea, and it will naturally help you go next day without causing horrible cramping or uncomfortable, just uncomfortable in your stomach. But please remember, again, your don't use it every day. That's all.
The those are the teas for coffee. I even have it here with me. We we're on the espresso blend. Sorry, I have to switch. So this is what we
Yep.
use. This is the espresso roast. It's an Amazon reoccurring thing for us, and we do it as either espresso or we mix it into some sort of an cappuccino or mix or whatever. We have a nice espresso machine, which credit to our friends Camille and Krisha for hooking us up, and that's what we use. I'm just pointing here to a couple coffees just as alternatives.
Yep.
Um, and I think this was it. No
Yes.
maple stuff, nothing here that we use. Some mixes here in the end that we don't. No Pop Tarts for you until you lose your weight. You can pig out with your Nutella jar and Pop Tarts later.
Yeah.
Um, anything
Pickles,
with
pickles
those,
are good.
anything with jars.
Anything, yeah, anything that is fermented, you guys, is very good for you. Eat anything fermented. That's all.
Okay.
And olives, of course. Olives are good.
Olives, that's your section recently. Um,
Yes.
and I think that was it here. So anything fermented, good. Anything here? I mentioned sauces already.
Yes, we go for the sauces. Chua. I always say it
Cholula.
wrong.
Cholula is our one of our
Cholula.
favorites.
Yeah, I go for sauces, and I experiment with new sauces. Again, like I told you, I try to just stay away. If I have sauce A and sauce B, and sauce B has less sugar, I go with the less sugar. That's all. Ketchup, we do use the one with no sugar added.
Barbecue sauces, we try to go for the ones with no sugar.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
and you can definitely find them. Those are really good. We really enjoy those.
yeah, the sweet chili, the regular one. Uh, those are regular in our house. Um, again, but
Mayo.
a lot of companies are making no sugar, substitutes for those sauces.
Yeah,
Mayo.
mayo. We definitely use mayo, and we have it at home, and we go for the avocado oil mayo.
Okay.
Costco has a great brand that I just love and buy all the time. Yellow mustards are good. The fancier the mustard you go for, the more stuff it can have in it. But plain yellow mustard, awesome.
There's also guys for the mayo. Like I use the buffalo one. Very good for flavor. We like the spicy stuff. This again, same company.
Mhm.
for the dressings, right? Also,
Yeah.
the Primal Kitchen products, you guys can see a lot of
Yes.
flavors. Try to go, they're $1 more than regular, but for dressings, and they don't have the garbage that the other ones have.
Correct. We
And
don't do any of the toppings for salads. Sugar. Well, I do have sugar at home, you guys. So sugar. Um,
what do you mean you have sugar at home? I mean,
we do have sugar at home.
yeah, no, we do, but substitutes we already said they're
Yeah.
gonna just create spikes, but we use them. I use them sometimes for
Yeah.
the
Um,
olives here. Oh, sorry,
so
no,
we have,
this is not olives. This is apple cider vinegar.
yes, we use apple cider vinegar. I try to drink a tablespoon of vinegar every day. I force it on Marson as well, as much as I can. Yeah, vinegar is really good for you for digestion.
She mentioned apple cider vinegar. We're going to talk about more tips on what to implement, but this is the one that I was just pointing to,
Yep.
and we use it before meals. All right, let's
Yeah.
continue. I think next is oils. This is where I got stopped by the
Yeah, I
by the.
think summer here was balsamic vinegar too. Balsamic vinegar, we have that too at home. Your oils, again, remember, stay away from your plant oils or seed oils. Really do a pretty bad job on your inflammation, your aches and joints. So go for your avocado oil, go for your olive oil. Butter, natural butter, like we talked about if you need it. But all these corn oil, canola oil, everything that I grew up with, those things really do damage to your body. You're gonna feel it. You're actually gonna feel it.
Um, one thing about oils, guys, everybody tends to like, okay, so I'm gonna upgrade, and then they see a virgin, the oil, the what is it, the extra, what does
Extra
it help you?
virgin,
What is it?
extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil or olive oil. Remember that they have
Hmm.
different smoke temperatures. So sometimes
Correct.
you're upgrading your oil, but it has a lower smoke temperature. So like when you're cooking and you're trying to do virgin extra virgin oil olive oil and cook let's say fish, you're frying fish. There's going to be a lot of smoke in your house. So, but there's different substitutes. Maybe I can create a table for the and put it as a file
Yeah,
in the Facebook group. But just remember, we use what's the other oil that has a higher
we,
that
we
we
use we use grapeseed oil for frying,
yeah
but we do not fry a lot. But for let's say if I want to do my eggs, I love them on butter. But if I don't have butter, I go for avocado oil. Yeah, so that's our grapeseed seed oil right there.
yeah yep.
Um, our main go-to is olive oil, extra virgin olive oil for our salads, and avocado oil.
Okay, this is I was here for a while just because the store manager came over and that's where he started asking questions. But mayo, and I think there's one more aisle that I'm gonna step into in a second. Those pre-made soups, not the best idea, but this is
We don't
tacos.
go for, yeah.
I was just
So here I, yeah, go ahead.
no, you can finish.
No. Yeah. So here we just get, like the taco kits sometimes, or the rolls and the spices. You can make your own spices for tacos. I'm lazy. I don't. I just take a packet.
Beans.
Beans, yes, we do beans. We do the. I always get them wrong. What are the beans? The kidney beans and the black beans.
Pinto beans.
Pinto, yeah. Yep. So we do all
Uh,
those beans, and we do
yeah,
fake cheese, pick chicken.
beans are very popular with slow, not low, slow carb diets because the release is slower. So when we're talking about like spikes for carbs, they're not as aggressive. They actually take
Yeah.
time to burn. So a lot of people say like, hey, if you want to try to eliminate your potatoes, replace it with beans or like paste out of beans. Oh, I think UPS guy is here because I hear our dog.
Yeah.
For the extra stuff
FedEx.
here, for the extra stuff here, we use the sauces, the sriracha. Like this is standard yum yum. We use them regularly, me and Kaya, for the hot stuff. No issues there. Again, it's one of those categories where I'm not super picky. I don't
Yeah.
use a ton of it, but I use it for flavor. And
Coconut milk and cream in the cans we do use. Again, just not light.
yeah, when we cook Thai and whatever. And I think, is there more here?
No, here you can find your dry beans or lentil. Lentils are really good, you guys, too. If you want to substitute your potato with a lentil, they're awesome. We don't get any of these things.
What was I? I must be looking for something. I think maybe I was looking for something canned, like oh no, yeah, yeah, more pinto beans. And is it cat food?
Yeah. Mhm. No, some of those are refried or something like that called beans. And again, if you got to eat a potato or pre-fried bean, eat the pre-fried bean, right?
Tomato sauces.
Tomato sauces, again, I go for the ones with the least amount of sugar, which is usually your marinara sauce.
Okay. And this we've talked about
For
substitutes,
pastas, yep, we skip and we go for this. All these oranges boxes, Bonanza, I think. These are the oranges boxes that I buy are pick
bonza,
peach
bonza.
Bonza uh, things. Again, I don't go for any of these stuff. Macaroni and cheese, kids love it. Yes, so they have it every so often.
And I
And
think
then,
that's it.
that's it. Yeah,
Next aisle, I think it's just sweets, which are
candy. Yep.
which we prohibit you from going. Oh, those sweeteners, we don't use it. A lot of them will advertise as like sugar free and whatever, but this is all artificial sweeteners. Again, if that's your Red Bull, like in my life, have it. If it's
Yeah.
gonna keep you on. Um, and I think there's nothing else here. Drinks,
No, this.
juices. You've covered juices already.
Well, yeah.
Nothing we really. What about things like, you know how some people like drink cranberry juice sometimes, and uh, but you already said that juices in general not a good idea.
Correct. Just the sugar. I know a lot of us women go for the cranberry juice because of our UTIs. There is cranberry juice without sugar, just plain extract cranberry juice you can get.
Which probably tastes awful. But
Correct, it does. It is
any
bitter.
anything without sugar, guys. We're so like hooked on sugar that everything pretty much.
Yeah.
And this is diet chips, no chips for you.
Chips, no
Um,
chips.
and back to booze. So that's back to where I
Yeah.
started, kind of. All right, cool. So this was very, very good. Things I wanted to flash on a screen because I said I had a couple products. So let's just roll through them. I'm going to start in the morning. So in the morning, we use two options. Again, this is what we use. I'm not telling you what to do, but we use the Celtic. You probably saw the clip. That's what we use.
Celtic,
We're
yep.
going to have the link. We basically add it to a cup of water and just have it. It's all minerals. Why this one? I don't think this one is available at regular stores. You actually have to buy it like on Amazon. It's
Yeah, I haven't seen it so far.
but it's like it's pretty expensive, right? Is it like $25 for a bag like this?
No, no. This one is I think about $10 per bag
Oh,
like
okay,
this.
okay. One of them. I don't know. For some reason, I'm thinking maybe
Yeah,
I bought two, and maybe that's why it was more expensive. The other one is Baja Gold. That's another one that's
right.
popular and good.
This one is the more expensive one.
Oh,
Yep,
okay, gotcha. So Baja Gold, you use this more for cooking than maybe like morning
I
consumption. Is
do.
that? Yeah.
I do.
Then we
Do.
already
Yep.
mentioned. Sorry,
Apple cider vinegar. Yep.
apple cider vinegar prior to meals throughout the day. I'm drinking water. We mentioned that. And then we have MCT oil, which you guys, I think you did a clip in the Facebook group talking about this stuff. This is we mix it in with coffee. I know you're trying to stay away. You said that maybe your cholesterol went up a little bit because of this. So you're
Uh, Correct. So again, remember everybody acts differently to it. I'm testing myself, optimizing, right? So
yeah,
I'm staying away from it.
no issues on my end. I love it. I use it every day. Omega 3 fish oil. This one, there's a lot of omega 3 fish oils, right? We love it because your brain loves this. Like, I every day. That's the only supplement I use. There's something special about the mix, the concentration, maybe.
Correct. It's a concentration. So in order to have a full effect, you need I think it says on there like 3 pills, depending again. But I found
Oh
this
yeah,
one in Costco. It is a little bit more expensive. I think it's $25, but it does. You only take one. It's clean. You don't have no burping after it.
yeah, yeah,
Very easy to take,
yeah, yeah.
and it's clean fish oil.
And
No
this
no
is
fake stuff in it.
you said Costco.
Costco.
Okay, cool. And then what else? Oh, last element, and I think you flashed it also. This is what we use for travel. Sometimes when
Correct.
on fasting days, when we want to like do some supplements in terms of minerals, this would be my turn to. So I would have like broth, and then if I'm hungry, I would just dilute one of dissolve one of the bags, one of the flavors. There's different flavors. I would just use it in the glass and then just drink it. Perfect because it provides the right minerals. It kills off the hunger and takes the edge off. And I already showed you the coffee, and that's I think pretty much it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to add food wise?
No, just stay to the natural foods as much as you can when it's possible. Stick to the nature's made foods.
Yeah, that was a lot, but
It was a lot.
hopefully it helps you guys. Again, you have questions, you should by now kind of know what to do. But if you don't, leave your comments underneath the video. If there's a product that you use, if there's a product that you saw us saying, "Hey, that's a great thing to use," but you disagree, also put that comment in there. As I always say, we're learning as we're going too.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I think the last thing I wanted to mention is that if you're watching this episode right now on YouTube, let's say, the podcast episodes and YouTube episodes are always delayed. They're delayed. So let's say if you're watching this exact episode, you're on number 8. We're already 3 to 4 episodes ahead in our Facebook group. So if you really want to stay on top and like see the greatest and latest and all the updates, you definitely want to check out the Facebook group. We're the Facebook group you can find. If you're on YouTube, you can see the description. Same for Spotify and Apple Podcasts. There's always a link in the description. So just click. But if you're not clicking, you just want to type it in. It's facebook.com/group/glucose guardians. That's where you can find us. If you're watching this and you see it on your TV monitor, you can just scan this QR code and join us there. This is at the top. You actually see the number 25.4 pounds lost week 4. I'm going to be updating this to week 8 now
Yeah.
because we just crossed week 8. We are at, I didn't do the total, but I think we're close to 32 pounds total. So we're more than one
Nice.
third of the way there. Yeah. So I think that's it. Any sort of last minute blessings?
That is it, my friends. Keep fasting. Don't give up. You can definitely do it. Let us know what hours you have, and always push your window a little bit till you get to. If you really want to lose weight, till you get to 18 hours and 6.
In the words of my beautiful wife, fast on, my friends. Hi, guys.
Correct. Fast on.
Later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.